My name is Nathan Shafer. I'm a senior. I'm graduating May 2020. I'm a supply chain major, information systems minor. And so the way I heard about the peer instructor position was actually going into my sophomore year of college here at Auburn, and I found it on Handshake. So I was going through Handshake. I was actually not looking for jobs. I was looking for organizations to join. But I just happened to find this. It popped up, and what struck me was that it said professional development. It really sounded like I could help other people, and that was a real benefit to it, a real a sticking point for me. And I expected to do that. I really enjoy teaching. I think it's actually one of my passions now. And I think this experience has really kind of shown me that I would like to be a teacher in the future. But I didn't realize that I would be learning a lot more. I guess as a student, you think that your teachers are there just to teach you, but your teachers are really also there to learn. They learn each semester and they learn from different students. So every semester I've actually been learning more, I think, than teaching. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, especially the professional development side, not just the content side. Like, professional development is an art more than it is a science, but it's a learned art over time, as opposed to just trying to pick it up from a book or from something online. You really have to practice it, and I think that's what the OPCD allows you to do. It allows you to practice over your 4 years. In the professional development courses, right, starting with 10-10 and moving all the way up now to the 40-10 courses where you get that ethical leadership, and that experience where you're interacting with your future job and your future employers. Many students look at their assignments, they look at the coursework as very discrete and decentralized segments that they just have to do in order to receive a grade, that they're independent of one another. They don't somehow build and create this foundation. But what a lot of students don't realize is all of those assignments that they're doing in 10-10 affect how well they're going to do in 2010, and how those assignments they do in 2010 affect how they're going to react in their interview. So I always tell the students in 10-10 that really what you're doing here is you're creating some sort of resume for yourself for how you're going to conduct an interview. But with your resume, your physical resume, your strengths and your weaknesses, these are all things that are going to come up in your interview, and that interview is how you get that job. So it's not an independent assignment, it's much more than that. It's really more of a strategic, big picture plan over the 4 years that you're here. And that's one thing that I really wish students could understand. I know it's really hard to do that as a freshman. You come in because most of your classes are they're very independent, very discrete assignments that are due, and then you move on. But things that you're learning in 10-10 will carry over to 20-10, 20-10 to 30-10, and ultimately to 40-10. And that's what's going to separate you, that marginal difference of being that professionally developed student from someone who may not have had that experience in another college. They may have the same academic experience, but they may not have those soft skills that really set you apart and allow you to make a great impression with an employer. So I think a few things. I think utilizing the people, that's something that I think a lot of people should take advantage of. I think that part of our professional development courses influences people to diversify their network, which is a big thing for me, and it's something that I hadn't really considered when I came in as a peer instructor. I thought of networking more as a transaction where I benefit from someone else. But what I learned is a network is really a relationship. So building relationships was a big one. The other, in terms of content from the different professional development classes, building a resume, what employers like to see, all the pros and cons of what a good resume looks like, what a bad resume looks like. And there's also a psychology, like there's an art to creating a resume and creating good content and for employers to see. So I think there's that side where you're learning more about yourself, from your strengths and weaknesses to all the way to the content side where you're just learning the material side that you get from all the different courses. The first thing I'd tell them to do is do a lot of internal searching. I know that maybe sounds cliche, but do some internal searching to figure out who you are first. I think it's really, really helpful if we can figure out kind of who we are so that we can kind of express that to someone else. So that way, when you're coming in, you're trying to add value to the OPCD. And one of the ways to do that is just by saying, this is who I am, this is my, this is my personality type, this is what I enjoy, this is my passion. And if you can do that, then they can place you in the right place where you should be, the right classes, and amongst the right people that help you with your strengths and your weaknesses. So I'd tell them to kind of do a little bit of soul searching. So I think sometimes we think we know who we are, but we often don't take the time to put who we are into words so that other people understand who we are. So I would do something like that. And then I would tell them to just come to the OPCD and talk with some of the great people that we have working there. Just create those relationships and then let them know what they're trying to get out of it, because it's definitely a two-way street. You will benefit by being a peer instructor, but you're also providing benefit to a lot of students. So making sure that there's not a transactional divide there, making sure it's a relationship that you're trying to build. So if you can get that across, and I think you get that across by telling them who you are and that you know who you are, and that you want to build on your personality, and you want to build on your strengths and your weaknesses so that you can help other people figure out who they are and try to build on their strengths and their weaknesses as well.